Hi everyone, today I'm back with a tag extravaganza. I'm really looking forward to doing this tag. Obviously I love doing tags. I know a lot of people enjoy watching tags as well, so it's going to be really exciting. Basically I've been looking for new book tags that I've not done yet, and there were quite a few small ones, so I thought I would combine them today and do 4 in 1. That's a little bit crazy because I do ramble a lot, but hopefully the editing will go okay. Hopefully I'll be able to cut some of that rambling down. Hopefully the video won't be too long. I have some questions here that I decided to print out, so I will be looking down a little bit at the questions, but I have my books at the side ready to show you, and let's just get going. Let's enjoy the tags. So the first one is the Pleasurable book tag, and this was started by Lee at Not Entirely Human TV. I will link all of these below. And basically it's just about books you like. So the first one is, what book gives you the most pleasure to read? And this has to be a standalone non-series book. For this one I'm going to select The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I love this book. It's really good book. It's just so different, it's so amazing. The writing style is so poetic, and the characters, you just fall in love with them. The story is so sad. So I suppose it's kind of weird to say that I enjoy reading it in that it's pleasurable, if that makes sense, because it's not good what's happening. But it's a very good book. I'm really not sure how to explain it, but it is really good. It's very sad, but it's still very good. The next one is, which series gives you the most pleasure to read? And it has to be not a trilogy, it's just got to be a series of more than 3 books basically. So for this one I'm going to select Warriors by Erin Hunter, and the first book is Into the Wild. This is the original series. A lot of people think they don't sound very good, they think they sound really stupid and childish, but to be honest they're actually really good. I know it sounds a bit weird, cats speaking everything, but literally the people that have read them so far in the book community have really liked them, so I will guarantee you will like them too. They're easy, fast, quick to read, and they're just a little bit of fun, you know. They're a little bit different, but they're really good. The next one is the trilogy that gives me the most pleasure to read, and I think you're probably going to guess. I'm going to easily say that it's quite an easy one. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Obviously, I love this. I am so excited for Catching Fire, and oh my gosh, this is the best trilogy ever, I think. They're all really good. I don't really like Mockingjay as much, but I still think it's great. The first and second books are just amazing. You know, if you have not read it or you don't even like it, what are you doing in your life? It is so good. I'm already gushing about it. I've only mentioned it once, you know. It is so good, you know, otherwise I would not be gushing about it. The next one is, which author gives you the most pleasure to read? And for this one I'm going to select Cassandra Clare. So the first book she wrote in the Infernal Devices was Clockwork Angel. And this is like Victorian London kind of setting. It's really good. I absolutely love this book. And she also wrote The Mortal Instruments. The first book in that is City of Bones. I've not read this one yet, but I'm going to be getting around to it very soon in summer. I am so excited to read it. Some people say it's not as good as The Infernal Devices, but I'll have to see what I think. I was actually looking on the internet about Cassandra Clare on Goodreads and stuff, and a lot of people are really complaining that she's writing so many books. But I don't know why, because I think they're really good, you know. They're really good books, so why would you complain if you get more? I think the writing style is just so unique, it's so descriptive and so intense and vivid, but it's all very necessary. It's so enjoyable to read. It's so good, like the setting and everything. It's just amazing. For me, it's just one of the best writing styles that I've read, because it is detailed, but it's not too detailed, you know. That is the kind of thing that I like. And then the last question in this tag is, which reading experience is your most pleasurable one to date? And for this one I'm going to select reading The Hunger Games. I'm sorry I'm repeating this, but it is very good. As you probably guess, it is very good. And I just love The Hunger Games. I think, you know, when I was reading this book I was getting so into it. I was like cheering for the characters and everything. I was getting worried for the characters. I was really feeling their emotions. I just loved the way that Suzanne Collins really built this world up and the characters. And I thought the plot moved very fast paced. I loved every single moment of this book. This was so good. And I've reread it a few times as well, because how could I not? It is just so good. The next tag is the Unread Books tag, and this was started by Alyssa at BookReviewer21, who I will again link below. The first question is, how many unread books do you own? And I haven't actually counted it up, so I'm not too sure, but I would say about 40% of my books are unread, and I mean proper unread, because some books I have kind of read a bit of them and then I left them. Either I was too busy or I just wasn't feeling them. So I have read quite a few and I've given it quite a lot of go, but there are still, you know, just under half that I haven't read, which is quite crazy. But I did used to buy a lot of books and I've just not got around to them. How many books have you read? I would say about 60% of my books I've read or at least tried to read. A lot of them I generally finish. Some of them I haven't finished, either I'm too busy or something, but a lot of them I've read, and a lot of them just, you know, stand to my attention and I just have to read them straight away. Do you buy more books than you read? And I think at the moment, no. I'm actually reading at sort of quite a similar pace. It's quite balanced out at the moment. When I do book hauls at the moment, this year especially, I've been doing the book hauls and then reading them books because I've just really been a lot more careful at the books I buy, rather than just, you know, seeing so many deals and buying like a load of random books which I'm never going to read. I used to do that quite a bit. Now I'm more careful, and all the books that I buy I want to read straight away because they just sound so good, and usually they don't even disappoint, so it's great. Why do you think you haven't read your unread books? I think I used to buy a lot of books that I didn't really know about, or they're probably not even going to be like good for me now, because I just used to be getting so addicted to deals. Like, I used to go in Waterstones like every single week and buy so many books, and it was kind of crazy, and I've never got around to them because I got so many. It sort of like got on top of me. I can't get around to reading them all now, so it's quite disappointing, but hopefully at some point in my life I will get around to them. That is my theory. If I buy books, eventually I will get around to reading them. Not necessarily soon, but I will eventually. And the last question is, are you going on a book buying ban? And no, I am never ever going on a book buying ban, ever. Because I just don't think they're useful for me. If I went on a book buying ban, I would write a list of all the books I want, and then afterwards I would buy them all. Whereas if I'm not on a book buying ban, I think that I would have less money because I wouldn't have had time to save it up. So there would be kind of like a limit to what I can buy anyway because of the amount of money I have. So it's kind of useful not to go on it for me, because if I did, I would save money over time and I'd buy so many more, and it would probably be like crazy as well. The third tag is the book sacrifice tag, and this was started by Ariel at Ariel Bissett, who is a really good booktuber. Please check her out, although you probably already have anyway. Basically it's just selecting books that you really don't like, so it's kind of different to the Pleasurable book tag in that sense, but I think it'd be really good to see the books I don't like, because I think negative opinions are good too. You know, they are important to like recommend books and everything, so I think it'll be really good. So the first one is an overhyped book, and I'm going to really select for this one The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I'm really sorry because I kind of understand why some people like it, but when I read it I really didn't like it. For some reason it was a bit boring and it just didn't capture my interest. But I did read it quite a while ago, so maybe that's why I didn't really enjoy it. For me it really just lacked something. I don't even really know what it was, but I kind of just didn't really like it that much. I might reread it at some point because maybe I will like it now, but I really didn't like it when I read it at the time, and I don't really understand why it's so highly praised. The next one is a sequel that you don't like, and for this one I'm going to select The Power of Six by Pittacus Law. For me, this was not a good sequel. It actually put me off reading the rest of the series. I thought the first book, which is I Am Number 4, was actually okay, but then this one was not. The characters just annoyed me and irritated me. I didn't really like the plot. I just lost it, you know. I just did not like it, and it really didn't interest me at all. I love this cover. It's an amazing cover, but unfortunately the cover does not live up to the book. The next one is a classic that you don't like, and for me I actually don't have one. I'm not sure really what I could select for this one because I don't read a lot of classics. All the ones I've read have luckily been quite good. You know, some of them are a little bit complicated in their language, but in general I really like them, and I think they're quite different for me, and it's nice for a change. I've never really found one that really properly irritated me. And then the final one is your least favourite book of life. I really don't like saying this because I know that someone will always like a book and someone is always going to hate a book, but the one I really did not like was Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. I really did not like this book at all. I thought the characters were so annoying actually. I thought the plot was so weird and the writing really didn't work. It was very disjointed. I think as a collaboration, John Green and David Levithan did not really work very well in this. I know some people like it. I don't fully understand why it is so interesting, but it was okay I suppose at times. But it just wasn't that good for me. I think they're really good writers on their own, but I just didn't like this one. I'm really sorry. I just have to say it, I have to be honest, I really didn't like it. And the final one is the Name Game book tag, and this was started by Kimberly's Book Nook, and basically you have your name, which mine is Jack, as you all know, reading with Jack, and you select a book for each letter of your name, so I only had to pick 4, so I suppose I was let off quite lightly in this. But actually I probably wasn't, because the letters were quite hard to actually find books for. The first one, for example, J, I couldn't find a book. I looked for ages, I looked on Goodreads and everything. I couldn't find one that began with J, so that really annoyed me because it's kind of like incomplete if I don't do it. So I thought instead I would select an author, and I've selected James Dashner, who wrote The Maze Runner. I haven't yet read this, but it really just came to my attention as soon as I thought of an author with J. James Dashner was one that came to the, beginning of my mind, and yes, I do want to read this maybe in summer because it looks quite a short book. It's not very long. and it looks quite a quick read as well. I know there's a lot of chapters in this. My sister's currently reading this and she said that you just whiz through it because the chapters are so short. Despite being so many, it's very addicting. For A, I'm going to select Artemis Fowl by Owen Colfer. I read this a few years ago and I really liked it. I thought it was quite good. It wasn't great, but it was quite interesting. I've not continued with the series, but it was still very good. For C, what else could I select? But Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. As you know, I love this one, and November 22nd needs to hurry up. I need to see the film of this. I want to see how it's adapted, I want to see the characters again. And finally for K, I'm going to select Knife Edge by Mallory Blackman. This is the second book in the Noughts and Crosses trilogy. I think it's a trilogy, or is it a series? I'm not sure. I don't know what it is actually, but yeah, this is the second book. I really like the first one. I've heard this one isn't as good, but who knows, maybe I'll like it. I don't always agree with other people, as you found out. And I'm really looking forward to reading this probably in summer again. I just really want to continue. I want to see what happens with the characters and how the plot develops. So yes, I'm very looking forward to that. So everyone, that was the tag Extravaganza. I hope it's okay. I hope it's not too long. I hope it's not boring or anything bad like that. I hope it was quite fun and upbeat and exciting. And yeah, that was my video for today, so I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, rate, share and subscribe, and I will see you all again later.